This is not a program for you or I. It's a program for listeners. We don't want to give listeners false information. We don't want no hospital to be named. We don't want anyone to come here and to spread propaganda. Okay, ma'am? So I'm saying to you, I am not able to verify the information you give. So don't do it. Do you understand me, ma'am? If you want to say something here, I must be able to verify it. If I can't verify it, I'm going to stop you, because I do not want this platform to be used as a propaganda machine for either of the political parties. Okay, ma'am? All right, ma'am? Okay, so I'm going to open back your microphone and ask you if you have any other thing to say. The request has been sent to you, ma'am. Go open your microphone. Hello, ma'am? Okay, you can open it in 39 seconds. You know, these, and you know, a lady did it last week too, you know, where she come up and talk about hospital. It's almost like them plant them to go on platforms and you know, yesterday I dealt with the whole matter of propaganda and how it's a classic in the toolbox of political parties to spread false narrative. Good afternoon, ma'am. Are you there? Hello? Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon. No, you're wasting time. Okay. Have a great afternoon, ma'am. You're not adding any value. You're not adding any value to what we are doing here. Let's go back to the notes. So then, diarrhea can cause from stress. And when you watch the election results coming in, you're gonna find that many people are shocked at the result because they were misled by the crowd size. You have to understand that the different political parties have different bases, B-A-S-E-S. That's where you find a disparity. The Labour Party, its support is large in the middle class, upper class, and it matches the PNP at the bottom too, but I think the PNP is a little bit ahead. And I think this is why poll results are skewed sometimes in favor of the People's National Party, because when the pollsters go out, they find more PNP people unemployed and at home than Labour Party people. You know, people don't want to accept these as facts, you know, but they are facts. PNP people tend to, can I say it? I won't. Okay, and then you not only have to understand political basis, you also have to understand what is called disproportionate enthusiasm. You notice the PNP people with them fists clenched, shouting blood and fire? It's not grounded in any ideology, you know. It's not grounded in any ideology, any policy that is progressive. cultural. It's emotional. Have you ever studied cults? It would be interesting to do it. Cultism. Because political parties can become cultic, you know. And it's something that we need to watch. Whether or not cultism is not being introduced into politics. Because when you follow blindly, then what are you? Why do you support the party you do? Why? You know, why? Why do you support it? How does the values of the party aligns with your own values? Because if you don't know, you're a cult. And if you study religion, you'll understand the influence of leaders that leaders can have on the minds of people. You remember what happened over there in Montego Bay with this pastor man? Kevin? You can get people to follow you blindly, you know. They don't know why they are here. They don't know what you're doing. They're just here. Like when the PNP had the protest up at Hero Circle. The people them don't know why they were there. Them just a set of orange clad people are gathered, and they gathered. Disproportionate enthusiasm. And it means that enthusiasm is disproportionate to votes or voting. I think Kamala Harris found that out. Excitement in the auditorium don't translate into votes or voting. And so while the Jamaica Labour Party supporters may be more subdued in their enthusiasm, they are more consistent in their voting behavior. Vital, fundamental, very important. And so this could lead to a situation where one party may seem to have the momentum, but the other party win the election in a landslide. So then you sit down on election night and you ask yourself, my God, then how the crowd went so big? How the crowd went so big, and yet still we lose so bad? Yes? And so you have to understand the depth of the support. Yeah, the Democratic Party had to go into hiding. They couldn't believe it. And I suspect that the same thing is going to happen in Jamaica. Some of these big crowds that the people are posting and boasting about are going to be this thing that defeats them. And they don't understand politics. They just get excited about the crowd and they start to shout and they think that they're winning the election. Not winning a damn thing. You have to understand demographics. You have to understand the different support bases. You have to understand disproportionate enthusiasm. You have to understand the depth of support. The depth of support for the Labour Party is significant, and it is greater than the surface level enthusiasm of the PNP. I'm going to repeat that 3 times. The depth of support for the Andrew Holness-led Jamaica Labour Party is greater than the surface level enthusiasm that you see among the PNP supporters. I've said it on this program. I want to repeat it. Holness's support is not measured, it is not measurable, and it is not seen at the meetings. If you are a comrade, write that down. And remember that neighbor told you that. That the support for Holness is not measured, not seen, but will be manifested on election day. And you better make sure that you have the depth to counteract it, or you're going to be embarrassed at the polls. Yesterday, the Prime Minister released a little video with a little girl touching his face and a lady saying that she would have borrowed him. Did you see the video? Did you see the video? Let me see if I can find it. Boy. Let me see if I can find it. You saw the video? Now, if you're a political scientist and if you do political psychology, well, I'm not going to show it to you, but I'm going to play it because showing it.
All right.
Okay, you look good, you look good. May I borrow you? May I borrow you? The girl say to the Prime Minister, you look good, may I borrow you? Problem. I better take a little break here because I'm coming back to that. You look good, may I borrow you? Oh, what does that mean? Place New Green. Battersea, oh my goodness, Greenville. Oh, Spaldings, you're here. Christiana. Shudley over into Litchfield, that's in Trelawney. St. Mary, good afternoon to you. It's a Sunday.
Down, girl, I wanna get with you. Yeah, I see you in the club. You're showing love.
Montserrat is on the line. Oh, look at that, Florida. Good afternoon. How are you doing? Montego Bay. Oh, best of reggae music, Mr. Wonderful. How are you doing? You're all very beautiful, but I need to get back to the notes. I need to get back to the notes. Boston, Massachusetts, St. Anne in the building. Good afternoon to you. Westmoreland in the house. Oh my goodness, this is a house full of people, huh? You know, they tell me that more comrades listen to the program. I wonder if that is true. DC, oh my goodness, what a DC.
Make the place go. Waistline makes my soldier salute. I'm a brute. High from your high heel game. High heels push up your ass last name. And you're living in the fast lane. Eyes like an angel goddess. Watch my gal and now she undressed. Spotless, heartless, bad to the bone. Make me wanna go. We'll be the triple X zone. Lanes don't know how to talk to you. So let me walk with you. Hold my hand. I'ma spend them grands. But after you undress, I'm like
All right.
The girl telling Prime Minister say, yeah, him look good and she'd have borrow him. I'm going to tell you something. You guys listening to me there this beautiful Sunday afternoon. I'm going to say this again. The support for the Jamaica Labour Party in Jamaica is unmeasured, is unmeasurable, and it is much more significant. than the surface level enthusiasm that you are seeing on the PNP side. The little girl touched the Prime Minister's face. Did you see the video? This is the Prime Minister of Jamaica. And the young girl has the boldness to tell the Prime Minister that him look good. Him look good. And should have borrowed him. Now, what does that mean? How does a young Jamaican girl see a Prime Minister and say to the Prime Minister in public, me had to borrow you. You look good. Me had to borrow you. You know, Juliet Holness. Wow. Boy, I tell you something. This is fascinating stuff. Let's oh boy, no. So I read the comments. And most of the girls are saying that they would borrow the Prime Minister too. What do they mean by that? Can someone tell me? What do they mean? Can I read some of the comments for you? Let me read some of the comments for you. Yeah. If me never did a Jamaican, me would have vexed. Yeah. You look good. I would have borrowed you. Me I use them lyrics there right away. Eh? I don't think she alone would have borrowed him. She would have borrowed Juliet's husband. Love the Jamaican vibes. Eh? Me would have never borrowed Marky G. Look at the comments. I'm reading the comments from that fascinating video that I saw. Bodyguards want laugh out loud, you know. The little girl and the PM face must be saying, is this for real? Laugh out loud. With Prime Minister look good for real. Every woman would have borrowed him. Eh? I'm never afraid to look. Me would have borrow you. Me say me belly. A PM that can mix and mingle with the people and don't look out of place. My goodness. Yes? Me would have borrowed the brown bodyguard around her back. The girl them bubble gum. The girl them bubble gum. That's what the people are saying. Me have to replay this as many times. Lady, you are the bite of the week. Me would have borrowed you. Look at that. Look at it. Look at it. Look at the Prime Minister laughing. Look at the Prime Minister laughing. Look at the Prime Minister laughing. Oh boy.
All right.
Yeah, so that's what's going to be on the ballot. What is going to be on the ballot, Jamaicans, is the sex appeal of the Prime Minister. Yeah, people don't want to say it, but it's there. The Jamaican girls find this man, Holness, to be sexually attractive. My goodness gracious me. I want you to understand that this appeal is not political. It is sexual. That's what the girl is expressing. Me would have borrow you. You look good. Me would have borrow you. Power. Popular. Look sexy. Votes galore. when you match up this, appeal that the Prime Minister, I know me, this is fascinating stuff. This is this is fascinating stuff. When you match up this sex appeal that the Prime Minister has against that of Mark Golding, you see where we're going with this. I know me say so, is a girl say so. Me would have borrow you. You look good. Me would have borrow you. And then the little girl, you see the little girl touching the Prime Minister's face. This is the Prime Minister of Jamaica, people. We're not talking about an ordinary man. This is the Prime Minister, and the Prime Minister receives it with such grace, such humility. He laughs it off. You hear what she said? Should have borrow me. This is amazing political stuff. This is a girl that hugged him. I wonder how many girls on this line right now that would have borrowed the Prime Minister. Kerry, would you borrow him? Kalela, would you? What does that mean? It's a fascinating thing that is developing. And so here the girls them say yes, they would have borrowed him. And so the Prime Minister has an appeal that transcends political boundaries, because that's what the girls say. Him look good, she'll borrow him, right? And I've been hearing that, even the polls are showing that he has very, very good support among women. And now I understand why he has the support among the women. The girls find him attractive. He's an attractive man in their eyes. I have never looked at the Prime Minister like that to know whether or not he is attractive. But I see why the polls are saying. So the girl in that video, the Prime Minister visits her community. She's one girl saying she no shame, she want him bad. She's the Prime Minister, and she's not there to speak about bad roads. She's not there to talk about anything concerning her. She's there because of an emotional appeal that the Prime Minister has, a sexual appeal. It's fascinating. Barack Obama. Did you know Justin Trudeau in Canada? You know what were said about these men? The president of France. Men who have sexual, look nice. Girls tend to vote for them, And so this attractiveness of the Prime Minister, as brought out in the video, tells me that he has deep support among women, young girls. Me would have borrow you. What is for me? Oh boy. I tell you something. This is a fascinating and okay, I'm coming back to this. I want to get to the notes. But one of our Jamaican singers did a song. Yep. Let's listen to it again. Look how the Prime Minister took that. Nice. Lovely, Mr. Holness. You took that with such grace and hugged the girl. Yeah. So the girl, the brave man, but she would have borrowed him. Now that's the point I'm making, listeners. That Holness has depth in his support. He has depth in his support, and his support is not measurable because it is an emotional connection. Did you see the little girl touch his face? A little baby girl. He picks her up in his arms and she touches his face. I'm going to see if I can psychoanalyze this tape a little bit more, and I'll bring it to you because it speaks volume. And when when I watched it today, I thought to myself that, this man could be in power for a very, very long time. And comrades, I thought about it because one of the things that Holness is doing is that he is building a level of support among children. Children love this man. You understand me? Now, what if he should remain until they are able to vote? I believe that among children, let's say age 6 to 13, Holness may be 7 to 1. What if he should hang around until these children are able to vote? You see what I'm saying to you? So his support and the support for the Jamaica Labour Party, although I think we need to separate those, goes deep within the confines of the Jamaican electorate. So finally, the depth of support for the Prime Minister, and I want you to make the distinction between the Prime Minister and the Jamaica Labour Party, is significantly more than the surface level enthusiasm of the PNP. The PNP is significantly misreading the election, I think. The PNP is banking on its crowd size, not its depth of support. What the PNP is using to propel them, their momentum, is the crowd size, and it's a fatal mistake in politics. I'm surprised that the PNP is making such a mistake. In Jamaican politics, isn't this the same party that had a crowd size of 150,000 that was wrong? Not only was it wrong, but it was a embarrassing defeat. And so then you have to do what is called a decoupling. You have to decouple crowd size from election outcomes. You have to understand that the crowd can't win you the election. It is essential to recognize that they are not directly correlated. Crowds and election outcomes not correlated. Because while large crowds can be an indicator of enthusiasm, while large crowds can be an indicator of momentum, they do not necessarily translate into votes. It is the policy initiatives of political parties that guarantees the votes. They are more decisive in determining the election outcomes. The performance of the government is going to trump any crowd size that you see out there now. The policies of the government, the substantial and substantive issues will win over any crowd size, any day, any time. Especially in an environment where education, information is so accessible. What crowd size does is creates a false narrative, a perception. It gives it, but it is not sustainable. I see a man with his camera talking about, look on the crowd, look on the crowd. I've done a lot of time. Let's see if we can and let me tell you about what is called a silent majority. silent majority. There is a silent majority in every country that can shift any election. There are the majority of people in a democracy, in a country, don't feel that they need to express their views publicly, you know. They don't need to go to any meetings. Many people this afternoon come from church, sit down in them living room, watch them TV, you know, well, you know, they're not interested in the politics, but they're going to vote. Who are they going to vote for? And this silence could lead to an underestimation of support for either party, and it potentially masks the true level of support there is. And I have looked at this, and I suspect that the Labour Party support is masked, that they are vastly more popular than the crowds are suggesting. Vastly more popular. Okay? And therefore, the polls may have a disparity. And so, I give some advice to the party, and then I'm going to close. I give some advice. That, well, let me leave that. Let me leave that until some other time. Let me leave that until some other time. Let me just wrap up. So crowds don't win elections. And this may be what is called an oxymoron. It's an oxymoronic statement because it's people that win elections. It's people that win elections, but it's not the crowd. You see the difference? Yeah. So people win elections, not crowds. But a key nuance here is that while crowds can generate enthusiasm and momentum, it is votes that ultimately determine the outcome of the election. The message here is that simply having large crowds or high level of enthusiasm is not enough to win the election. Instead, a successful campaign needs to translate that enthusiasm into actual votes, which requires a well-organized ground game, effective voter outreach, and a clear message that resonates with voters. In other words, crowds can be an important part of a campaign, but they are not a substitute for hard work and building a campaign organization that identifies, mobilize, and get out your votes on election day. You have to strike the balance between generating enthusiasm and building a campaign organization that maximizes your chances and wins you the election. I will not deal with crowd size anymore. So those of you who did not get it today, you have to find it on YouTube. I'll tell you the link over there soon, okay? Coming to the callers now. Minutes after 3 o'clock, okay? Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Oh,
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, neighbor. Good afternoon.
Hi, great.